Howdy guys, Cub here. Welcome back to Hermitcraft. Last time we worked on the front side of this mountain range here. So we built up all these mountains you can see, which was quite the task. And today we're going to continue this mountain building project because this backside here, if I scoot on out this way, yeah, still needs a backside. This whole mountain does. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. And we can actually like fly through this mountain. It's kind of like a cool area in here now. And it should be all pretty much lit up, so we shouldn't have too many mobs spawning in here. But yeah, we want to try and finish this part of the mountain up today, try and get this going, and connect up, all these different areas here to one another. And in order to do that, we need to go and get some dirt. So we're going to head on out to the mining mesa area here. And also, I want to mention one thing real quick. We're still on 1.13.2, so if I hit F3 here, yeah, 1.13.2. And the reason is because 1.14 still is not ready. However, we did get some information from Dinnerbone saying that they will be releasing a 1.14.1 in the coming days. So that is good news because there's a lot of issues in 1.14, like rendering. Chunk rendering is a big one, probably the biggest one. And there's also issues with like village generation and pillager outposts and Ender Dragon fights being broken and wandering traders being broken. A bunch of stuff's broken. So hopefully that is fixed and we can upgrade successfully in the near future. But for right now, man, there's a lot of animals coming, somehow making their way into the nether. There's sheep over here, there's parrots that we gotta put back, there's pigmen, I think there's some cows over by Grian's. Yeah, there's cows. Look at this. These cows are all from Grian. He apparently like bred up like thousands of cows at one point just to get a bunch of leather, so let's see if we can head on through here. There we go. Very nice. And no boats. Okay, that's fine. We can fly it. Flying down the iceboat road. Come on. There we go. Okay. So we're going to head out here to the mining mesa. We're going to gather some dirt and hopefully fill up these shulker boxes in my inventory with said dirt. There's the boat. Somebody didn't put it back. It was probably me. It's fine. Let's get out there, get some dirt. Alright guys, so we're out here now at the mining area, and we're digging out a whole bunch of dirt and grass and stuff, and putting it in our shulker boxes to build the mountain up. And while we're doing this, I just want to speak with you guys about some things that have happened recently in the world that you may or may not be aware of. Some things that are important, some things that are just for fun. First thing I want to talk about is Avengers Endgame. So if you guys haven't seen the movie, don't worry, no spoilers in this video. I won't spoil it for you if you haven't seen it yet, but I went to see the movie on Thursday, which was the first day it was available in my town, and I was at the first showing, so you got like the hardcore fans in there with you, which is awesome. Like I'd say I'm a fan, but I'm not like one of those diehard people. But yeah, I enjoy the movies, the superhero movies. They're a good way to sort of like escape from reality for a little while, and they're also really well done in terms of like story and character build-up, actually. I don't think that Marvel really gets enough credit for that, but anyway, went to see the movie. It's amazing. Think about this. Like, the movie starts off with half the universe having been snapped out of existence. That's how it starts off. That's how Infinity War left off. So it just gets even crazier from there, and yeah, I think they did a really good job with it, and it's a really fitting end to the whole MCU Phase 3. So that's awesome. Next thing I want to talk about, guys, is fully self-driving cars, which I think after a press conference I saw on Tuesday from Tesla is way, way closer than we think. I think by the end of 2020, there will be several self-driving cars on the road that are operating fully autonomously without any driver in any situation, I will say. So the reason I think that is because Tesla revealed on the 22nd that they've been pouring essentially every resource they have into developing fully autonomous vehicles. This is not the same as what Waymo have been doing, like Google and Uber, who are using sort of like high-precision GPS in a very limited area to create self-driving cars. This is like generalized self-driving cars. I'm talking like fully, like, just go to sleep at the wheel and then it just goes. Like, you press a button and it goes. This is definitely going to happen within the next 10 years, but I think that now this timeline has been accelerated because Tesla is going to get there first. The reason I think that is because they've been using neural networks over a very large data set of their entire fleet of Teslas, essentially, to basically train, basically like test their code and train their code to be better, essentially. So like they take data from their entire fleet of Teslas, which is growing every day, and they plug in that data into a neural network to achieve a certain outcome, namely, no crashes, no sudden swerving, to keep them on the street, keep a safe distance between the Tesla and the other car. And yeah, the progress they've made so far has been absolutely phenomenal. And they're also planning to turn their fleet of Teslas that they already have built and that they will build in the future into robo-taxis. It'll be sort of like a ride-sharing service similar to Lyft and Uber, but with no drivers. So they have an inherent advantage on that. And in fact, they said that they'd also allow people to basically, if let's say you drive your car to work, let's say you have a Tesla, you drive your car to work, you can then put it into robo-taxi mode, and while you're at work, your car then goes and drives people around and makes money for you, basically. Of course, Tesla gets a cut of the profits as well, but yeah, that's insane. That's insane. Your car couldn't you can utilize your car to make money for you. And the estimated revenue, I think, was $30,000 a year. And the car itself, is not much more than that. So, I mean, it almost makes... It's almost like you could... There's a scenario that exists within 5 years where you could buy a car, you could buy a Tesla, and then you could make money on that car, potentially more money than the car itself is worth, if you run the robo-taxi service quite often, which is insane. That's totally bonkers. That's totally bonkers. That's just nuts. But I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen. Final thing I want to talk about today is the huge news in astronomy that happened a couple weeks back, but I didn't talk about it at the time because basically every video on YouTube was talking about it at the time. And that, of course, is the first ever image of a black hole. So this is the image in case you haven't seen it somehow. I'm not exactly sure how you manage that if you haven't seen it, but yeah, this is a image of not the black hole, but actually the shadow of the black hole, which is totally insane. This is actually 55 million light years away from Earth, which basically what that means is, relatively soon after the dinosaurs died out 65 million years ago, the light from this accretion disk around the black hole left the black hole region, the region around M87, which is what this black hole, where this black hole is. So, yeah. First of all, I just want to say this is a phenomenal achievement. This achievement has been a long time coming. There's it's been a collaborative effort that has been building for several years. So this was sort of expected. And yeah, the fact that this worked so successfully is actually a little bit more important than the image itself. So let me just do something that I didn't see anybody on YouTube do for some reason, because I don't really know why, but I'm going to actually read you guys the introduction from the actual paper. Maybe people just didn't read the paper. I read the paper because I'm into that sort of thing. But the introduction is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to read you a sentence, and then I'm going to tell you what that means in layman's terms. Yeah, let's just do it. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump right into this. Here's the actual abstract in its entirety right here. I'll read a sentence or two, and then I'm going to explain it as if I was explaining it to a 5-year-old. And yeah, we're just going to go from there because why? Why not? It's more fun this way anyway. So here we go. When surrounded by a transparent emission region, black holes are expected to reveal a dark shadow caused by gravitational light bending and photon capture at the event horizon. In other words, black holes are weird, yo. To image and study this phenomenon, we have assembled the Event Horizon Telescope, a global very long baseline interferometry array observing at the wavelength of 1.3 millimeters. We made a big-ass telescope, and we're observing this black hole. That's what that means. This allows us to reconstruct event horizon scale images of the supermassive black hole candidate in the center of the giant elliptical galaxy M87. We're looking at the heavens. We're going to find this sucker. We have resolved the central compact radio source as an asymmetric bright emission ring with a diameter of 42 plus or minus 3 microarc seconds, which is circular and encompasses a central depression in brightness with a flux ratio greater than or equal to 10 to 1. AKA, we saw it, and it is glorious, despite the fact that it is really, 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 really small on the night sky. That's what that means. The emission ring is recovered using different calibration and imaging schemes, with its diameter and width remaining stable over 4 different observations carried out in different days. We're certain we saw it. Hashtag Nobel Prize. That's what they're saying. They're like, yeah, we're flexing. We're flexing right now. That's what they're doing. Overall, the observed image is consistent with expectations for the shadow of a curved black hole as predicted by general relativity. Einstein proved right again. The asymmetry and brightness in the ring can be explained in terms of relativistic beaming of the emission from a plasma rotating close to the speed of light around a black hole. In other words, the black hole is what we thought it was. So this actually gives us a huge amount of confidence in our theoretical models of black holes, at least as far as up to the event horizon, that is. So we compare our images to an extensive library of ray-traced general relativistic magnetohydrodynamic simulations of black holes and derive a central mass of m equals 6.5 plus or minus 0.7 times 10 to the 9th solar masses. I.e., we compared this to what we thought it was, and turns out it's really freaking big. It's a really big black hole. Our radio wave observations thus provide powerful evidence for the presence of supermassive black holes in the centers of galaxies and as the central engines of active galactic nuclei. They also present a new tool to explore gravity in its most extreme limit and on a mass scale that was not so far not accessible. So basically, they're saying we've taken black holes out of the realm of something that is theoretical and made it basically scientific fact, or as close to fact as you can get. Also, at the very end there, so far not accessible, hashtag first. That's what they're saying. They're flexing again. I love it. I love this abstract. It's fantastic, and the paper just goes on from there. So I just want to say congratulations once again to the Event Horizon Telescope team and all the astronomers who worked on this, because it's hugely significant. It'll help us to better understand how space-time works, and it'll help us to evaluate theories of space-time and basically how, basically what theories still fit the observed data and what theories don't. And from that, we can really start to narrow it down and really start to get the fundamental sort of nature of reality, almost. It sounds like really like high in the sky, but it actually is really, really good that we have this data now. Like, this will help us out a lot. And also, because the process worked, because this calibration of telescopes across the world using very long baseline interferometry, because this worked, this will be expanded upon and improved over time. So this is not the end. Like, this is the very beginning. So yeah, there will be additional images which will have higher and higher resolution using this Event Horizon telescope, and there's already talk within the astronomy community of basically taking this and taking it to the next level. So doing what's so-called extremely long baseline interferometry arrays, or insanely very long baseline interferometry arrays, where you essentially have potentially like telescopes in space which have their own atomic clocks, and they can sync themselves up and also determine their relative positions using lasers, communicating back and forth. And with that, you can achieve ludicrously high angular resolution. There's also, I've seen today, or not today, but recently in the last few weeks since this result came out, renewed interest in using the sun as a gravitational lens, and putting telescopes far, far out, hundreds of AU away from the sun, and using the gravitational lens of the sun and positioning a telescope at the focal point of the lensing to image exoplanets directly and image the surface of exoplanets directly, which is totally crazy. So, like, this result and this success has really sort of galvanized the astronomy community, which is really awesome. And yeah, hopefully this is just the beginning, because man, there's some stuff coming in astronomy and some stuff that has happened recently. I mean, like, just think, you know, maybe five years ago, black holes were still just, theoretical constructs, basically. But now, we have directly observed black holes, the effect of black holes have directly on space-time through LIGO, and now we have the actual image of the shadow of a black hole in just 5 years. That's insane. That's huge progress. Massive progress. So it's a very exciting time to be alive, guys. This is the golden age of astronomy is right now. So really great. Anyways, yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. But yeah, super excited about this, and yeah, I'll talk more about this stuff in the future, and I can talk more about this stuff if you guys like me to talk about it. I've thought about doing like other videos on like just astronomy topics, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Let me know if you guys would like to see some astronomy videos and stuff like that. But anyways, let's move on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we got ourselves the backside of the mountain now done, which means that this whole first mountain range has been completed. So I'm pretty happy with this. We also put down some dirt and grass near the base of the mountain to sort of make the transition a little bit smoother between like what was all stone, sort of like this over here, to, yeah, mostly dirt. So I put a whole bunch of dirt down here to make it look better going up. And yeah, it's pretty steep. If we get on down here, actually, you can see how steep it is. It's pretty steep. And yeah, also, we're still wearing the sandals of solidarity. Like, these are super groovy, super comfy. Thank you, Renbob, once again. Gotta say, digging the sandals, man. Digging the sandals. So definitely a good purchase. So yeah, you can see how steep it is from down here. Very, very steep. In fact, let's go ahead and fly on up to the top if we can. Looks really cool when you fly up it like this. There we go. And then I can show you up here the whole upper area, which we have quite a lot of room, actually. Like a surprising amount of room. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut this down a little bit here in certain spots, just so it works a little bit better. And yeah, there's there's the inside. There's the inside there. We should probably check that out in a minute. There we go. Oh man, massive lag spike when I put that in there. Alright, but yeah, that's what it's looking like. So yeah, here, if you get to this point, you can actually like jump off and jump into the river. In fact, we're going to make a leap of faith off this thing. Just like this, and we should be able to make it into the river. Yeah, nice. Sweet. So yeah, that's something cool you can do. You can bail off the mountain if you need to in a pinch. So yeah, you can do that from this side. You can also probably do it from this other third peak over here, which is kind of cool. And yeah, I think it works pretty well. So that is the backside of the mountain now completed. I also have to be somewhat careful here because I'm running low on durability for my wings. We also got to go and repair our shovels. But before we do that, I think it's probably time to go ahead and make this next mountain right here. So this mountain is going to be not quite as tall as... Actually, I think it's going to be roughly as tall as this other peak over here. This sort of secondary peak we're looking at right there. Not quite as tall as the big peak right there, though. But I think we're going to make this one out of stone because already this is made of primarily stone. Although on this side there is some dirt too. Yeah, there is some dirt on this side. I don't know. I think it might be better just to go ahead and make it out of stone now. Just because the side that we see the most is made of all stone, essentially. So, yeah, I think we go ahead and make this next mountain here. Why not? Because I think this is going to be significantly less work than the other mountains because, it's not as high up. We don't have to go quite as high, and it's also significantly less area. Alright guys, so as you can see, we got this mountain now built up, so yeah, looking pretty good right here. If we fly on over here, we can get a little bit of a closer look. And so we've increased the height of this mountain by about 20, I think it's 25 blocks or so, roughly. So a pretty big increase in height. This is now one of the tallest mountains here that sort of stick out of the ocean. So yeah, this area is looking pretty cool. A little bit of an exaggerated height to it, but I think it looks decent overall. By the way, I just want to show you can actually, like if we land here, you can actually get up this thing just by walking up it. I'm trying to make it so that you can walk up all the mountains, but might not be possible with some of these. But with this one, you can just come up like so, and there you go. You've made it. So that's pretty cool. So from where the natural generated terrain starts, you can make it up. Let's just go ahead and now like cut into the wall here, cut into the mountain, and I'll show you the inside. So there is kind of a decent amount of space on the inside. So we could potentially put something here if we wanted to. Although I don't really have any plans right now, but if you guys have any ideas, do let me know about what you'd like to see here. So let's just do something like this, and maybe something like that. There we go. Perfect. More fireworks going off at the factory. It means we just got a shulker box of materials. That's fantastic. And yeah, I think it looks pretty decent. If we get out here to the front of Corp, you can probably see it. Yeah, sort of looming behind the factory, which I think looks really nice. Yeah, pretty decent. Pretty decent. I'm pretty happy with it. And of course, it will be covered with snow layers in the very near future, of course, since it's so high up once it rains. So guys, with that, I think I'm going to have to call that an episode for today. Yeah, we're going to have to build up the mountains over here in the next few episodes, because, yeah, those are critical to build up before we begin the next phase of Corp. So, yeah, it should be a lot of fun to do. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to be it for me today. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and make sure to subscribe for more videos like this. As always, thanks again for watching. This has been Cobb. Goodbye.